Hello everyone, I'm Jacob, Community Manager with Paradox Studio Black. Today we're reading the words of Veronica Pazos, Design Deputy for our upcoming core expansion, By God Alone. When we set out to rework how Christianity feels in Crusader Kings 3, we kept returning to the same question. How do you make 1,000 years of church history feel alive in a sandbox, without turning every playthrough into the same timeline? Our answer is the Christian church situation, which tracks the spiritual health of Christendom across 7 different chapters. Today, we will walk you through how the situation works, who participates, how chapters change, what catalysts push the church forward, and what each era means for your ruler, both as an ecclesiastical government or otherwise. The situation sub-region is Christendom itself, the sum of every independent Christian realm whose lands fall within an archdiocese. The church may become bigger or smaller as archdioceses are created, expanded, or split. Not every Christian ruler experiences a situation phase, or chapter, the same way. 6 participant groups split Christendom along 3 axes. Clerical versus secular. Are you an ecclesiastical or lay ruler? Main power versus secondary powers. Do you follow the Christian faith that currently holds the most counties in the world? And ecumenical versus heretic. Does your faith carry the ecumenical Christian doctrine, or are you a heretic? The main power faith is dynamic. It is recalculated whenever county faith changes across Christendom, stored as a situation variable and refreshed automatically. When the main power changes, say if Catholic counties are overtaken by Orthodox ones, that shift can itself become a catalyst, and it can instantly push the church into the reform phase. Orthodox, in this case, would become the main power in the Christian church and obtain all the benefits that rulers in that group have. We call the phases of the Christian church situation chapters. There are 7 in total, each named after a recognizable era of church history. Every chapter belongs to one of 4 chapter types, which tell you the broad tone of the era. In instability chapters, rulers are easier to sway to rights, excommunications fly, and gold has a way of leaving the church's treasury. The church is at its most scorched in the crisis type. Indulgences are cheaper, ecumenical councils more frequent, taxes suffer, and depending on the specific phase, even clergy may be able to marry. The zeal type allows mass conversion, cheaper bulls, holy wars, and easier faith conversion. And in the stability type, grand cathedrals rise faster, characters take vows more readily, and emperors may even try to mend the Great Schism. The fragile unity chapter is part of the instability era and is the opening chapter of our 867 AD start date. In this chapter, secular rulers sway more easily between rights. Main power secular rulers gain a free humiliation casus belli, and easier claim requests from their head of faith. Members of the clergy siphon treasury more effectively, and secular rulers of both main and secondary groups may levy the tithes through a dedicated decision to extract wealth from their ecclesiastical vassals, at the risk of annoying the archbishop of your diocese. The Saeculum Obscurum chapter is of the crisis era. In this chapter, the crisis deepens. Ecumenical councils and indulgences are cheaper. Secular rulers can appoint their own court chaplains during the Saeculum Obscurum. And clergy may marry, and they may even get a seduction scheme bonus during this phase. Unless a player has already resolved the schism through dedicated decisions, the Great Schism is created automatically at this chapter's close, cementing the East-West fracture that will define later centuries. The conversion phase chapter is part of the zeal era. During this chapter, the main power faith converts counties 50% faster and finds character conversion easier. Everyone else converts 25% slower. Clergy gain an extra personal and hostile scheme slot. Papal Bulls are also half price. During this chapter, the Mass Rite Conversion Project becomes available as a coordinated push to bring borderlands into the faith. The Reform Phase chapter is part of the Instability era. During this chapter, excommunications are cheaper, main power secular rulers gain cultural head fascination, and clergy may send legantine missions to increase the development and control of their lands. Monastic order patrons can also invest in their orders to increase their piety and spiritual fulfillment, as well as their relationship with their head of faith. The investiture controversy chapter is part of the crisis era. As in Saeculum Obscurum, secular rulers may appoint court chaplains without papal approval, but they're not the only ones willing to abuse their power during this chapter. Clerical appointment interactions are cheaper. Secular rulers suffer accelerating county-controlled decline, and clerical rulers see reduced feudal tax contributions. The Crusade phase chapter is part of the Zeal era. When this chapter begins, every Christian faith's Great Holy War cooldown is cleared. Holy site pilgrimages grant learning experience. Hiring holy orders is cheaper, and so are Papal Bulls. Secular rulers gain access to cheaper religious wars and cheaper men-at-arms recruitment. And the Pope can proclaim the Kingdom of Heaven during this chapter. The Concord chapter is part of the Stability era. During this chapter, Grand Cathedral construction is faster. Characters accept taking vows more readily. Church and domicile building costs fall across the board. Christian kings or emperors may try to mend the Great Schism, and heretics may seek communion. Theocratic heir candidacy is boosted. Heads of faith lift excommunications more willingly. From any current chapter, only a limited set of future chapters are available, shown as clickable books in the situation window itself. Each future chapter accumulates progress through catalysts. When a chapter reaches 1,000 points, it takes over. Catalysts can be triggered by any eligible Christian ruler, with no limit on how many times each one fires. They are wired into the everyday fabric of Crusader Kings 3. Marriages, murders, wars, county conversions, ecumenical councils, pilgrimages, great project contributions, heresy outbreaks, and more. Some specially important events can also accelerate the pace dramatically. If the Catholic head of faith does not control the de jure capital of the Papal States while Christendom is in the Fragile Unity chapter, Saeculum Obscurum triggers immediately. Likewise, a change in main power faith during Saeculum Obscurum will snap the church straight into the Reform phase chapter. Some example catalyst themes are a clerical scandal, secular interference, religious changes in the land, wars and holy sites, shows of devotion, and deliberate steering. Papal bulls are the formal instrument by which the Bishop of Rome reshapes the faith without waiting for a council, a war, or a century of drift. They are one of the most direct ways a Catholic head of faith can steer the church. Only the Catholic head of faith may take the enact a bull decision. You must hold your head of faith title and have at least limited church authority as a realm law. The decision costs a major amount of piety and carries a 5-year cooldown, so each bull should feel deliberate. When you enact a bull, you first choose its purpose from 4 options. Each leads into a follow-up step: picking a crusade target on the map, selecting a right to condemn, or choosing a tenet to permit or forbid. Every ruler of the faith then receives a letter notification, so the realm knows what Rome has decreed. Calling a crusade is the most dramatic papal bull. The Pope selects a hostile kingdom on the map as the target of a great holy war, then proclaims a crusade. The faith must already allow great holy wars, have a spiritual head, hold at least 60 fervor, and have no great holy war already in progress. Plus, there must be a valid hostile kingdom to target. Normally, calling a crusade by papal bull requires high church authority or better. During the Crusade phase chapter, that requirement is waived. When Christendom is already ablaze with crusading fervor, the Pope may call the cross even under looser church authority. When a rite within Catholicism has diverged far enough from the main rite, the Pope may issue a papal bull condemning it. The condemned rite becomes a new heretical faith. Its head is branded a heresiarch, and its ecumenical status is stripped. When this happens, Catholic fervor rises. Rulers of the condemned rite receive a letter and may choose to convert to the Pope's rite rather than remain under anathema. The Pope may also elevate a known tenet from obscurity to permitted status within the rite, opening new doctrinal room for the faithful. The faith pays for flexibility with a significant fervor loss, however. And finally, a papal bull can do the reverse. A tenet is declared prohibited, tightening doctrine and granting a notable fervor gain as the Church reaffirms its boundaries. And with that, today's Dev Diary comes to a close. We hope you enjoy steering or surviving the chapters of Christendom. As always, we look forward to your feedback, and do keep in mind that extra effects or catalysts may still be added. And remember, if you want to stay up to date with everything Crusader Kings 3, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. You know, I've seen a lot of comments calling out the way I've been pronouncing clergy and archbishop. Well, in the spirit of Catholicism, I have a confession to make. I'm doing it on purpose. During cons of this step, every time I said the name Genghis Khan, I made a point to pronounce it differently. It's a small thing, but it makes me feel like I have control over my life, and that makes me happy. Since we're heading into the summer months in Sweden, we'll be taking a break from Dev Diaries for a little while. But stick around, we'll be back before you know it.